Hello, hello. It is 1 past 11. Let's give it a few more minutes for folks to join that will be joining the session. And I'm going to actually share the Zoom details for those that want to actually go ahead and join me on Zoom. One moment. I'm actually going to link it in the Facebook group in the live comments section. So you'll see that linked shortly. All right, I just linked the Zoom details in the comments section of the live on Facebook. So if you are watching live, go ahead and check the comments and join me on Zoom. I would love to see your faces. So we're just going to give it a couple more minutes for folks to join. And I'm just going to pause the recording for a moment. All right, and we are back. Again, just giving it a few minutes for folks to join. It's always amazing that folks, a lot of folks sign up, but then they don't always show up. So hopefully those of you that have signed up, at least the majority, are watching the live or will be joining me on Zoom. Again, the Zoom details are in the comments section of the live. Would love to see you, if not your face, at least have you in the call to interact, and that way I can answer any questions or pain points that you may have. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. I think that now is a good point to get started. And I am actually going to share my screen. That way you guys can see the presentation that has a couple of key points. And we can break away from that if folks have any particular topics that they want to discuss, or any pain points that they want to go over. Hopefully everyone is able to see my screen now. Again, this is a coaching session. I know it says challenge there. It can be a challenge, but it is a coaching session that I want to try and walk you through and talk about a couple of key points. Again, if you are watching live, there is a Zoom discussion. That was my cat you just heard. There is a Zoom link invitation in the comments. So first things first, I want to actually walk you through a guided meditation in regards to your mindset and your self-perception. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through the mouth. Do that for a couple of seconds. Find your rhythm, find your breath. Now, I want you to think about your body. Where does it feel like you're holding tension? Are you tense in the neck? Are you tense in the shoulders? Are you tense in the back? Find where you are holding that tension. And now also think about your mind, right? Is your mind wandering? Are there thoughts that are coming in and flashing at you? Maybe to-do lists, maybe what you have scheduled for the day or anything in the future. I want you to acknowledge those thoughts, but bring the focus back to your breathing, to your body. You want to be self-aware of how you're feeling. Now take your hands, and of course, only do this if you're in a safe environment. If you're driving, I do not recommend this. Maybe just listen along. But if you are in a safe environment and you can do so, go ahead and take your hands and place them over your heart. Now that you have your hands placed over your heart, again, you want to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. How does it feel? How does it feel to perform this action, to have your hands over your heart, over this tender area, this tender place that dictates so much of our emotion? Again, continue breathing. Let the breath become smooth. Let the breath become effortless. And with each exhale, as you breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, I want you to release any negative energy, any negative thought that you may be having. As the air expands into your lungs, release all of that negative energy, that negative vibration. Again, continue to focus on your breath as you do this. Now, with each exhale, I want you to think, I am a worthy. I am enough. Again, I am a worthy. I am enough. Focus on the positivity of those thoughts, right? We all have a history, we all have a past. We are defined and made up of our experiences, but we're not focusing on that right now. We're focusing on letting the negative energy go and bringing in the positivity of your worth, that you are indeed enough. If your mind wanders at any point, that is fine. Bring the focus back to those thoughts. I am worthy. I am enough. Now, I want you to visualize a white light. This white light is coming in from the crown of your head, moving down through your body to your heart, where it expands. The light expands to fill you up. And in doing so, I want you to think of any negative emotion, any negative thought that you may have or limiting belief, and you want to up the positivity. If you're feeling, let's say the negative thought is at a scale of 1 to 10, a 4, a 5, a 6, whatever number it is, I want you to use this light, fill this light, let it push that positivity up, push it up by a notch or two, so that if your negative thought is at a scale of 4, it becomes a 5. If it's at a scale of 6, it becomes a 7. Again, all while thinking, I am worthy, I am enough. Let the positivity flow. Again, continue to focus on your breathing, on that breath, and this positive white light that is filling your body. All right, take another deep breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. If you still have your eyes closed, take a moment to come back to the present. Now, I know it's a simple activity, a simple meditation, but hopefully it has centered you in some way, allowed you to focus your thoughts so that we can have some productivity with what we're going to talk about today. So you've joined the coaching session for various reasons, right? And I'm going to assume that some of those reasons have to do with your perception of yourself, with your story, maybe with some limiting beliefs, right? You may find yourself struggling with motivation, find yourself struggling with achieving certain goals, achieving certain actions or activities. Maybe you feel like an imposter. Maybe you feel like a phony. Maybe you're not certain as to why you're struggling with some of the roadblocks that you're experiencing. And maybe you need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction on how to address some of these pain points. If you are on the Zoom call or even watching via Facebook, feel free to type in some comments or even unmute yourself. Maybe introduce yourself and tell us what some of your pain points are. So in this course, in this 3-day coaching session, what I want to walk through with you on day one, which is what we're in now, day one of the free coaching session, or you can refer to it as a challenge, because sometimes working on the inner self, working on that perception can be viewed as a challenge. So day one, we want to explore this story, right? This story that identifies us, that makes us who we are today, the roles that we play in relation to that story, and any negative scenarios that you tend to replay frequently. For day two of the coaching session, we're going to explore that negative self-talk and any belief systems you have in place so we can shift your mindset. For day three, we're going to rewrite the script. We're going to flip it to the positive. We're going to take that past story, those roles that you've been put into, that negative self-talk and those belief systems, and we're going to reframe them for the positive so you can start to write a positive story for yourself. If you're not already aware, my name is Evelyn. I am a mindset transformation coach, and I am certified in various areas. NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, is just a fancy term to say and discuss how we communicate, right? How we communicate with our body language, how we communicate with others, and the notions or limiting beliefs that we use that dictate how we communicate. EQ, which is emotional intelligence, right? How you relate to another person, how you empathize, right? That connection that you make. Empowerment, right? How to empower individuals. Obviously, my audience is centered more towards females, aspiring females, entrepreneurs, but that doesn't mean that men can't see value in this as well. Then we have motivation, mindset, and goal setting, right? How to efficiently goal set, how to make tiny habit changes that will provide a big impact, a big result as it relates to the mindset. And my whole purpose is to inform and empower individuals so that they can rewrite their story and transform their mindset. This way, they're able to achieve greater success in what they pursue. And the way that I do this, the services that I provide, I have one-on-one coaching, I have group coaching sessions, and I also have guided workbooks that you can work through on your own time if you're not ready to take that step. So I found this great quote by Brene Brown, and it goes, "Owning your story is the bravest thing you will ever do," right? Think about that quote for a moment. Most of us, depending on our past, we try to sweep it under the rug or ignore the dark areas that have made us who we are today, right? How many folks are guilty of that? I know that I've been guilty of that in the past, but I have worked through my own demons. I've worked through my own story in order to be here today to help you with yours. So again, a lot of us don't really explore that past history, that past story, which is what has made us who we are today, right? There are so many things that have affected us as individuals that put in place those limiting beliefs that then prevent you from moving forward and operating in a much better, much more efficient way. So your story, right? I like to compare our stories to a movie, right? Our lives are like a movie where we tend to replay the past often and we cast and recast our roles. You are the author and director of your movie. Maybe not the beginning, right? Because as a child, you may not be as aware of what's going on around you. But as you get older and become more experienced, you then take the reins of your story. So, what we need to do in order to explore that story is to go back, take a look at the beginning as far back as you can remember, maybe various periods of your life that have been poignant and impactful, and think about the role that you were cast in, right? What role did you play? How has your belief system been impacted by family around you, by friends, by partners, right? We're constantly evolving. And so it goes that that script, that movie is also evolving, constantly affected by external factors and your internal emotion. So again, you want to really look at your past, maybe identify some key moments that were pivotal in making you who you are today, whether they were good moments or bad moments. Again, we're comprised of the totality of our experiences, good and bad. And pick out if it's the moment or individuals who have cast you in a role who have affected your belief systems, because those belief systems, that history, and those roles that were put in are what impacts how we move forward. So, one of the problems that I see constantly with individuals, again, when it comes to their story, is that they're not actually exploring their background. They may set these lofty goals or want to achieve certain things, and they're self sabotaging because even if it doesn't showcase itself on the onset, it will come up at some point and you will self sabotage because you haven't done the inner work, done the exploration to address what's up here, to sort through and organize that, which is that past story, that history that has made you who you are today. We also don't look at the roles that we're put in, right? We tend to accept the roles that we're cast in, but it shouldn't be that way. You, again, are the author, director of your life story. And so you should feel empowered. You should have the power to define your own role, to cast your own role. Thirdly, we tend to focus and replay the negatives, right? This is especially true in individuals who are perfectionists, individuals who may suffer from imposter syndrome, right? We focus on the negativity in our lives or negative events that have occurred instead of focusing on the positive, instead of counting our blessings. And then lastly, we seek external validation or gratification. Again, our story is what makes us who we are today. And if you haven't thoroughly explored that, if you haven't thoroughly done the work to alter your perception, to alter the roles that you put in, to alter those limiting beliefs, you are doing a disservice to your future self, your current and future self. You're going to self-sabotage where you want to go. And this last point, seeking the external validation or gratification, That has a lot to do with the negative, with imposter syndrome, with feeling like a phony, right? External validation isn't the end all be all and shouldn't be the goal with relation to your story. Everything should come from within. Any satisfaction should come from within and from you, not from an external party. I'm curious what other problems you guys see with the lack of exploring the story that has made you who you are today. Do any of you relate to these statements? Again, I myself have found myself in various points where I hadn't done the work, but I was lucky enough to work with a coach, to work with someone who helped me sort my story, who helped me become more confident in who I am and what I want. And that then led me to want to do the same for others. And it begins with assessing your past in order to move forward with the present into the future. So I have included a workbook in the communications that I have sent to you, which is comprised of various activities to work through identifying your story. This is all surface level. Obviously, we don't want to tie you up, too much, but it's just to give you an idea of how you can start to explore your history, your story. And what I would like you to do is to populate the answers in those activities, in those questions, and share your answers to Facebook, right? I would love it if you shared any takeaways that you have of our session. Tag me at the Fab Chiefess, hashtag rewrite your story 2021. And what I'm doing is, for anyone who is sharing their answers, for anyone who is sharing their takeaways on social media and tagging me, I'm providing a bonus prize that will incentivize you to continue the activities throughout the coaching session. And that bonus prize will be awarded at the end. And again, it has to do with posting your takeaways, posting your answers, and providing a testimonial of how this experience has helped shape you, or even what could be better. Lastly, before I let you go, I'm curious, are there any questions that you have, any pain points that you might want me to talk about, or even if you want to share your experience, we can coach live. I'm going to go check the Zoom chat and the Facebook group just to see where we are, see if anyone has posted or said anything. All right, no chats here. I think everyone's a little bit shy, or they probably haven't joined the live. Well, that being said, I hope that you found today's session informative, that there was some value in it for you, and that you now have an interest in exploring your story and looking back into what made you who you are today, and altering some of the roles that you play and some of the limiting beliefs that you have. Again, my name is Evelyn, also known as the Fab Chiefess. I'm a mindset transformation coach, and it is my pleasure to engage with you today and to be of service. I look forward to day 2 of the coaching session. Have a good day, everyone.